Alright, welcome YouTubers, Clash of Clanners. This is JD with Unbroken Tower. I guess I'm just going to do a quick little defensive video and talk about the update. So today is July 4th, 2014. We recently got an update, and they changed a few things. For me, it was kind of a lot, just an anti-hog update. But I'll tell you this stuff they changed. It's my stuff scrambling. Valkyrie. They did something cool with Valkyrie. Valkyrie are obviously not used that much. They made it so they do splash damage, but what they do, they'll run in between two things and a wall, and it would hit all three of these at the same time, so it kind of does triple damage. They did some stuff with the heroes. One of the things they did with it, they basically made the lower level heroes, like my king here, a little bit stronger than what they were. And they took the really high level kings and they made them a little bit weaker. But to make up for it, for the higher level kings, they increased their ability power a little bit. So whenever you hit the little hero ability, it's stronger than what it was. So they kind of broke even. But they basically made our king stronger at the lower levels. The other thing they did with the kings and queen, the heroes, they made it so that it won't leave a certain area, it only defend that area in that circle. If you go past that, he'll just walk right back out, so you can no longer lure him outside, which I thought was a big part of the strategy. We're going to put your king, we're going to put your clan castle, make your troops hard to lure out. I don't know, I thought it was kind of fun some of the fun in the game, being able to do that before you attack. But again, like I said, I think that was part of an anti-hog conspiracy. Not a conspiracy, just a lot of people don't like him. Whenever you watch YouTubers make videos about Clash of Clans, the big one I can think of is Let's Play Clash of Clans. That guy, he was talking about hogs and how he didn't like him. So what I noticed is what he does, he gets sponsored with a lot of gems, so he just presses that gem button a lot and makes these ridiculous armies that takes hours to make, and you just can't do one after another unless you're actually putting money or getting free gems somehow into the game. So it's what I think is going on. Other people who also frustrate, because the hog attack is a very technical attack. You can't just you don't just send them in. That's why people get frustrated with it. You can't just send in your hogs. You have to lure out all the clan troops. You have to lure out all the heroes because they're going to crush your hogs because there's nothing attacking those. They're just doing their damage in your hogs the whole time. Then after you take out the clan troops and then you got to send them in an area, and you got to hope you don't come across a giant bomb right away. If you come across a giant bomb too soon, it can really, really hurt you. And they also made the giant bombs more powerful, so instead of it really, really hurting you, it pretty much kills all the hogs. So then, after your hogs are even in there, you can't just drop a heal spell directly over your hogs. You have to predict the path they're going in, and you got to drop it in front of them and hope your hog jumps up a heal spell. Because if you just drop it on top as your heal spell started opening up, your hogs are actually jumping out of the little heal zone. So they kind of, I don't think they like it because, one, a lot of people don't get it. It's very technical, very difficult to use, but they see it getting used on them, and that's frustrating to them because they can't do it. Secondly, they don't want you to use hogs because they're relatively cheap compared to a lot of their troops, especially like the other ones that can take on big bases. Like the Go Iwi, where a witch costs 500 dark elixir, and you got to do 2 of those. And a golem costs 500 dark elixir, and you got to do 2 of those. And that's just the base of your army. You haven't even started doing everything else. Whereas a full-on level 2 hog army like I would do, with the 3 heal spells, I mean, the hog's only 1200 dark elixir, and that's pretty much my entire army. Usually I'll throw in a bunch of archers and a few wizards and a dragon, and then a few barbarians just to lure out the troops, but I think it's just a very anti-hog update. That's the reason why I think they did it. They did some other cool stuff, like the Valkyrie I think is pretty awesome. The hero's ability, whenever you press it, also gives you a little more extra health, which I think makes the game more technical, which I like as well. So I think that was actually kind of a good update. The anti-hog update I'm not cool with at all. So anyway, kind of talk about the defensive part of it. Oh, they did one other thing. Not whenever you're watching. If you're watching someone else's, if one of your team's attacking, you can now watch their attack live. If you get attacked, it's different. So anyway, I'm going to talk about defenses. As Shaggy's getting attacked right now, I'm going to go ahead and replay the first one on him. It's going to show the ghost attack. Nope, it's going to show the ones going up. So yeah, so basically, he took his Town Hall 7 he had and just built up Town Hall 8 stuff around it, and hasn't done too much else. But you can tell he gets the people trying to attack him. They lure out his clan castle, his dragons. They basically just drop a lot of dragons, which is a horrible call, right next to the two major area, and they lighten down the other one, which is kind of smart, but is what they should have done. They probably should have grouped the dragons a little more to the center so it went there a little faster. And they should have used a heal spell right away or a rage spell to burst those dragons in there. So I don't think it's so much like as good defense. It's kind of more or less poor attack. They ended up taking out the air. Look how weak they are. Like, all those dragons are pretty much gone by the time they get there. There's my stuff's kind of being flaky right now. Fix that right now. Yeah, so the guy ended up getting 0 stars, 47%. And I don't think it was so much good defense. I think it was just a... oh, someone saw my YouTube channel. I don't think it's so much just a bad attack, realistically. You gotta you shouldn't have used lightning spells. You should use heal or rage spells. And even if he did it the way he did it, he should just group his troops more together. Maybe drop down a few wizards and archers earlier, so they take out those early buildings, so the Jag can get to the air defense a little faster than what they did. I'm going to go up to the special shout out today for the attack, which is Noob Cake. So he kind of made a bit of an anti-hog base. He has an open spot. There's an open spot. Never drop your troops there. The guy tries to get smart and just drop a few golems there to absorb everything, all the damage. But he keeps on dropping stuff over it too, and all the splash damage is hitting his golems and everything else he's dropping in there. He does a heal spell on top of that. And his queen and everything. It's just, he doesn't even barely takes out the wizard tower beside it. As you can see, the defensive queen's still there. Just a horrible attack, realistically. But it's also a well-structured base. It's a trap. The guy went right into it. And the guy, this is a bad move because he had already cleared out the stuff going towards the air and the expos. And so, of course, the dragon's going to go the other way and then start circling around while you're just getting pelted by air and everything else. He went ahead and did the third golem. Oh, so Noob Cake, this is their top player. He had 2-starred him, and this was his revenge attack, I guess. Just horrible. I mean, by the time he gets that air out, his last or second last dragon's almost dead. On the other side, as soon as this dragon comes in view of the other air, that one's going to die right away. As soon as that golem's down, that expo's going to turn around and take out that dragon. Golem's already a little baby golem. That one's gone. Again, I think this is another... He had a solid defense, and I didn't kind of show it, but I might as well quickly rush through it again. He has a nice anti-hog thing going on, which after all this goes down, the guy ends up dropping all the hog, and that's what actually ends up taking out some of the stuff, which is right about now. So he's got a big group of hogs going, and this is why you always do a double bomb. So the hogs go through, and they start doing a little bit of work, and they start getting like the wizard tower does some damage to them. Double bomb, boom, they're all gone. If they were at full health, they would have also been all dead. I definitely recommend the 2 giant bombs together, which should have been the strategy before, instead of them updating the anti-hog by making just a single bomb more powerful. I guess now you should probably just spread that out more. They should have just made it so that, well, they should have just left it how it was, so people knew to double up bombs together. That started with my base, which had a pretty good defense as well. Let's see. Am I like number 11 these days? Ooh, I got 2-starred. Let's see if it was by dragons. I think it's going to be by dragons. So this is an anti-hog base. Yep, level 3 dragons. I have my bins right around my air, so the dragons spend a lot of time taking out the bins while my air is just pelting them, and that's my logic behind that. People always attacking the dragons from that side too. I need to move my two. I think actually my air balloons are over there on that side. My base doesn't do enough to make him circle around either. That's probably a problem. One dragon's going to take out my town hall there. Yeah, it's kind of too much of a direct path. Yeah, I switched that air and wizard tower, and that kind of helped out a little bit, I guess. He's going to need some health, isn't he? Brand new dragon, no health. Alright. So I got dragon again. 2-star on a dragon attack. By Eder. There's a witch in there too? I didn't even see the witch. Useless. Probably in the clan castle, eh? Look from the other side, yet clan castle. You know what? I think the other side attack actually got on that star. Maybe not. I guess the dragons would have got probably right around 50% by themselves. So, my other air is going up to level 6, which will be there pretty soon, so I don't think that's going to, this isn't going to happen again. That little boost will take out level 3 dragons at least. I don't know what I'm going to adjust on that. This is my anti-hog base, which is my war base, which I might as well make a dragon base now that they did this update. That might have been the guy I attacked earlier. I'm going to look at that in a second. Vallejo. Attacked twice in a row pretty recently, huh? So Furman here. He does a hog attack on me, and this is my anti-hog base like I was saying. So he sends a hog, pretty smart, lures out my entire clan. I wish I would have had wizards and archers in there to make that a little more difficult for him. Gets in the corner and he goes ahead and he sends in all the hogs. A few of them go to the left, most of them go right in the center, which I'm hoping for. They jump right there. As you can see, all full health. He drops a heal spell, go to my double bomb, kills all of them with that one little single guy that my king and mortars easily take out. Then he's just got wizards out there pretty much unprotected. They do get through a little bit. He comes close to getting 1-star with the dragon and everything else, but the rest of my defenses held up enough. He didn't get enough with the hogs to really make a penetrating move with that. And as soon as that last hog gets in those mortars, of course he's going to go down pretty fast. So yeah, so defensive-wise is what I like to do. I like mortars and even my home base, which is just more of just a solid base. I like to do, I got it switched out a little bit because I'm updating some stuff. For the most part, mortars and air in the center. Because usually where that wizard tower is would be a mortar, would be an air right now. And then the next tier, I like my wizard towers right there. Then my outer tier, my cannons and my archer towers. So it's kind of making it harder for them to get into the bigger splash weapons with the range. And I think that usually you like to keep your wizard towers right by your bins too, or your storage units. So if you have a bunch of goblins go in, those wizard towers really do a hurt on goblins. They do a hurt on a lot of stuff, but goblins particularly. That's my basic defense, but try to get 2 bombs together somewhere. I'm not really worried about hogs attacking my main base, because especially with so little dark elixir I have right now, it's definitely anti-dragon more than anything. And it's even set up so that usually stuff circles around it, because everything's going to circle, because everything's tightened up together. It's just going to keep on going outside, 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 and the one to the left, one to the right is always going to be closer than the one across, or towards the middle. That's a pretty good, just a solid, basically what you call a trophy base. It makes it difficult for people to come in. My loot's fairly well protected. I do have the big mistake of keeping my 2 gold bins side by side. I'll probably change that right after the video. You definitely want them on different sides of your base so they can't just attack from one side, take out 50% of your base and get all your loot. At best, you want them to be able to get maybe 1 elixir bin and 1 gold bin, because usually you don't have them both full. I guess that's my 2 things. Well, 15-minute video. Clash on.